welcome to my channel and welcome to this week's WiPnChat. Excuse me. Right, grab your usual tea. Bucket. That's too hot. I've just made it. Okay, I've given the blonde beast some food. Ready to go. Working on the mystery yet again. Yeah, grab your work, grab your drinks. Come and sit and join in. Now, this is probably going to be a shorter video just because there's a bit more color blocking. So, I have a butt-ton, not a button, I have a butt-ton of photos to show you from our trip this weekend. We went to a place called Arve Falls, A-R-V-E, Arve Falls. It's in the Harz mountain range, down to the south, which is actually like only an hour and a half away from us. Really close walk by comparison to some of the other bigger trips that we've done lately. So when those photos start happening, it will be quite rapid fire. Of course, I picked the end with no wax in it. Now, I have downloaded the photos, but I do need to go back into that album to be able to, you know, tell you the story about this day, and hopefully I've actually scanned in the correct photos. So that's going to be a bit later. Yeah. So, this week, what craziness has happened? Nothing too crazy actually this week. Hubby is actually, this is some crazy. Hubby is clearing things up. He doesn't often do this. He's got to the point where his orderliness has got chaotic. So it reached what we called its critical mass this morning. And he has given himself a list of jobs to do. I'm not allowed to tell him to do anything. And he's given me dinner to do, which is a pork thingamajig. It's a pork marinated roll. There seems to be a lot of skin on it, and the aim is to get crackling off this beast. I'm scared. The pork should be too. My plan is to... Sorry? Yeah, the standard that's been set is like really, like it's a high jump. It's not just a... what do they call the... I used to do it in boarding school, so grade 5, 6. There's the jump that you run up to and flip over onto the mat. And then there's the... Oh, no, I'm thinking pole vaulting. So this is not a high jump, this is a pole vault. It's way up there. Marcus would actually have sat with a piece of pork and the... and the heat gun, and be cooking the back side and then cooking the front side, and or heating it very gently for about 2 or 3 hours. I ain't doing that. I don't have the time, the love, nor the patience. So what I'm hoping to do is try and blast the buggery out of the meat, but not kill everything else that might be in the oven at the same time. So I've got to finally tune that. So I'll try and get my head around that a bit later.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to not be as good as it usually is. And the meat itself is only a tiny piece. Like, you know, small, round kind of medallion. So the other option would be to take the skin off completely. Sorry, I need to fix a nail. I broke a nail last week. And I should have got it into the salon and got it fixed, but now it's just going to potentially bug me until I go back and get my nails done. So I keep on putting super glue on it, but I keep on breaking the super glue thing. So yeah, it broke way down on the growing bit, so it was quite sore. Anyway, looking for K's. That's all that matters. Diamond paint girl. So I launched the invite to the premieres this week. I am gathering names. If you're a creator that happens to watch me and you'd like to join in with the premieres, we did the premieres last Christmas, and I'll explain a bit. I kind of felt that people get a bit lonely over the Christmas period, And given that this is a isolating kind of craft, or isolated person's kind of craft, that the people who do follow the creators, you know, they aren't necessarily people who get out and about, are overly active, or get to see family. And I kind of thought, well, hey, why not have a room, basically, where people who might not be with people at Christmas could go. And I thought, how the heck am I going to do this? And then kind of thought, well, Christmas is, you know, around the world, you know, it's over a day, you know, because it starts in New Zealand. And then I worked out that it finishes in Hawaii. And then I worked out that it was like 47 hours. I'm kind of thinking, oh, good God, where am I going to get 47 creators who are going to do this? And I went, this just seems too big for me. Help. Anyway, gave it a go, sent out personal invites to my friends, my video people that I used to watch and everything else. And I went, hey, can you, you know, get on board this idea with me? Can you do a 1-hour whip and chat that is going to broadcast basically on the Christmas day around the world over the 47 hours, which is actually, from a US point of view, Christmas Eve through to Boxing Day morning, the day after Christmas morning. I've got lots of that, and I've got lots of that, and I've got lots of that. Okay, I'm just sorting out my drills that I need. So the call went out, and I didn't want it to be about any one creator or piggybacking or abusing one creator because they might have been a creator with, you know, 20,000 subscribers or anything like that, or 14,000 or whatever it was that Stitcherista was at this time last year. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about ego or anything else. It was about us giving back. And Danielle stood up and did it. I don't think she had done a premiere before that. She wasn't quite sure how it was going to be. She wasn't in her chat, and I think maybe some of her subscribers got a little bit confused, but you know, subscribers, I guess. She has since figured out, and no, she's not going to be part of the chat because she does family things, and this is what the whole point was. If it was very much, your family is more important to you on Christmas Day, go be with them. But if you can do a video in advance that the people who don't have family could be there with, that would be fantastic. And she did. And the whole thing flowed. Ella, oh my God, Ella Johnson was working until midnight. She was having massive computer issues, and she, God bless her heart, ended up going live after her long day's work and kept the stream going. There was a glitch where somebody had put the wrong time, I think by 24 hours. Her live went out the same time as another live. One of my creators spotted it, and we were able to delete the video and re-upload it for the premiere for her time slot. So again, there wasn't a hiccup. And that was like, oh my God, thank you so much for all the support behind the scenes. It was, you know, it was fantastic. And so many people joined in. And it wasn't just on the Christmas. It was after the fact as well, because the videos continued. They weren't overly, I guess, Christmassy. So it wasn't a case of you couldn't watch them the week after or anything else. Some people, I think Crashy was saying that she did rapping. It was Kerwin's debut. Oh my God, how much do we love Kerwin? And no, we don't love Kerwin more than we love you. We just love him, you know, about the same. You know, it wasn't about subscriber counts. I think we had people who had, you know, very, very few subscribers. It wasn't about subscribers. It was about gathering. And anyway, the invite went out this year, this week, and I pretty much immediately had over 25 people stick their hand up and say, "You mean? I'm in." Absolutely. Now, some people can't do it this year. Life has got crazy, but they will appreciate watching it because life is crazy and they need it themselves, but they can't give, and that's perfectly fine. for those people like that, I would just say, can you please gather around and feel that you are still loved, whether you're a giver or a recipient. We want to do this because you need it, I guess. So yeah, the challenge that you're going to get to enjoy as a viewer is called Chubby Bunnies. Chubby Bunnies is a challenge where you get a regular size marshmallow, not a mini marshmallow that you put in hot chocolate, and not the monster American size marshmallows. Good God, I don't think anyone could speak with those. The regular size marshmallow, it's about an inch around, and the idea is that you put a marshmallow into your mouth, you don't swallow it or anything, and you try and say Chubby Bunnies. Because the thing is that you need your lips to say the B sound. Okay? So while you've got your cheeks looking like a hamster and feeling quite silly without being, you know, dangerous or anything else, like the chip challenge, Dave, you try and say Chubby Bunnies. Now, there is a video online of, oh gosh.
What you keep missing is you keep adding marshmallows.
Yes, you keep adding marshmallows. But there's a video online with Jimmy Fallon and, oh my God, the Aussie chick, and I can't think of her, the blonde Aussie chick who went over to the States and has kind of hit it big time. I can't think of her name. Anyway, that was the video that I showed. And she put a marshmallow into her mouth, and then Jimmy would put a marshmallow in, and they'd go back and forth. I think they got to 3 or 4 marshmallows before they couldn't do it anymore. They were laughing so much as well. It was just ridiculous. So
how do you tell who's won the challenge?
the last person who could say Chubby Bunnies wins. Who's able to say it clearly.
Oh, you mean the number of marshmallows?
The number of marshmallows you put in your mouth. My husband is being very pedantic with, am I giving the correct information?
You're being vague.
Oh my God. I'll let him do the channel
So
someday.
the
winner is the last person
largest number of
who can
marshmallows
fit,
in their mouth.
yes, who can fit the most marshmallows in their mouth and still say Chubby Bunnies so that you can understand it. Anyway, one of the girls has said they can't eat marshmallows, they can't swallow them or something. Something about that. And I said, I don't care. If you spit them out, just do it off camera. Nobody wants to see marshmallows being spat out. But you're not allowed to spit them out during the challenge. You have to keep them in your mouth while you do it. We were kind of thinking of doing a kind of Brady Bunch Zoom call, but I think the problem with that is if you have too many people in between each other, you have either a chance to swallow a bunny or a marshmallow on the sly, or you've got the drool happening, which could be potentially a complete hilarious disaster. So I think we might have to cap it at maybe 4 people, or maybe just 2 people. Anyway, some of the people have some ideas of doing a video maybe beforehand and including it in their Whip and Chat, which would be absolutely hilarious. So yeah, other than that, it's going to be who the heck knows, and, you know, a lot of fun to just have something to just kind of go, oh my God, I can't sleep, I hate Christmas, I want to watch something. Because you run out of Whip and Chats, or you run out of things to watch that's kind of current. So this is a flood of Whip and Chats for you. But more than that, if you're available at any one of the lives over the 47 hours, and, you know, it gives you plenty of opportunity to be able to just jump in and chat. And if you're available, you can jump in and you can actually chat in real time with other people who are there. And whether or not your creator of the video is there, it doesn't really matter, because they're not answering questions or anything like that. It's just meant to be that room to be able to gather in. So if you're interested in that, go to my playlists on my channel and go to the Christmas premieres 2019, and you can watch the last year's event as well. That gives you double the hours. I'm not doing the math. But, you know, hey, go for it. And you will find new subscribers. Sorry, you will find new creators, because there are new people here who were not doing it last year because they weren't creating last year, like Principal Painter Cara. She said that she watched it last year, but she wasn't doing videos last year. So now that she gets to be a part of it, she's just tickle pink. And, you know, that kind of thing. So it's cool. You know, some creators won't be in it because they can't from last year. And that's okay too. So it will be a change of scenery, change of cast. Yeah, as I say, you'll find people that you didn't know, and then you'll find people that you absolutely love that you didn't know, or you'll find that you'll find people within the group, you know, the people that you're chatting with that you have something in common with, and you might find your new bestie in there too. I was going to switch that, but I don't actually have a multiplacer on the other end. Bad. So back to the Bethlehem olive. That was one from Jim's handmade pen shop, with the beautiful translucent bit and the ink swirls and the wood bit. Very, very pretty. So yeah, there's that. I put an order in with Taste Ireland this week. The kid has not discovered this yet. Did I tell you last week? I may have done. She got into my airheads on my penguin, and then I stole my penguin back off her. Well, in this box,
Which kid?
the blonde, the only kid that steals my Irish chocolate. So in this box is 3 bags of flour. I know, strange. 3 bags of Odlum's brown flour. Now let me tell you why there are 3 bags of flour in this box. Australia does brown flour. It does brown bread, but not like the Irish. What Australia does with its brown flour, I have discovered, is it mills it to nothing. And it's as fine as white flour, but it's still wholemeal flour. The Irish flour is a coarse grind. It's almost lumpy by comparison. And you basically get this flour mix and some water and a knife, and you mix it and you throw it in a bread loaf tin, and you have brown bread. It's as simple as that. It's a brown bread mix. But even Dad making it, it was like this bit, and I don't know, a slight bit of raising agent or something. It was simple. It's not a soda bread. I don't think... It's just a vacuum. What's your problem? You scared of the noise or the picture? So looking forward to that. I usually have... Oh, she's now yelling over him to stop. I usually have a number of things on my brown bread. The brown bread was kind of reserved for Christmas Day because I can't get it in ready supply here. But what I have on my brown bread, thank you Dad, is butter and honey. Runny honey, usually. The honey we have here is crystallized currently. But it's okay, honey is honey, or I'll toast it and it'll warm through. We do have the world's best honey. So butter and honey. Butter and salmon, smoked salmon. Irish smoked salmon is divine, but I don't have that either, and that's okay. The Tassie smoked salmon is pretty good. Smoked salmon, or there was one other thing. Honey, smoked salmon, pate sometimes, but not so much. But salmon and honey is a definite. Not together. I'm looking at the volume for the noise of the vacuuming. I apologize if it's a little bit intrusive, and I don't know how long he's going to be vacuuming for. Hopefully not long. I got a phone call during the week, last week, saying it's the spine centre here, and the doctor would like to see you next week, and can you come on Tuesday? And I went, yeah. very noisy.
Oh, well, in a minute.
So she made the appointment for Tuesday, like 2 days time, and I'm kind of thinking, yeah, I'm a bit worried that he wants to see me quite so quickly. That's a little bit kind of eek. And then I read the email because she said, I'll send you the appointment details via email. And I said, yeah, no problem. I read the letter. Probably a good thing that I read the letter. The charge fee for actually seeing this doctor in between his theatre breaks is not cheap. And it's like, yike! Okay! So hopefully I'm not going to be waiting overly long. At least I can sit in there. And there is Wi-Fi. But yeah. So I get to see him on Tuesday. So yeah, I get to see him on Tuesday. And yes, a little bit concerned-ish. This one at least hubby can come into. There are 2 parking spaces at the very, very front of the doors, which is good because walking any long distances may or may not have triggered my back. So we'll see if we can get a spot when we go see him. So that would be kind of cool. Otherwise he can drop me and he can do the long walk and I'll just go in with Sophie or something. But yeah, that's the aim of that appointment. I guess to find out whether I'm categorized as a surgical or just a physio fix. Well, we'll see. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at drills left and numbers left on.
We can't do anything for you because you don't have a spine.
Oh, they're not going to tell me I'm spineless. We all know I'm not spineless.
Oh, well, I know that, but they might have some sort of...
Yeah. So at least the referral's through really quickly. Rather than waiting, my only problem then would be surgery because I don't have the private health cover that would necessitate getting me surgery like in a hurry type of behaviour.
Look what I found.
But yeah, Marcus has found crayons.
My collection of crayons from when I was like...
His crayons, he obviously didn't do any drawing when he was a baby.
Wait. Look, brown, barely used.
Yeah. Yeah, she wants to use them.
Special things.
Okay. So I'll keep you posted on that appointment. Since becoming monetized, actually before becoming monetized, I had this discussion tab. I think we all have the discussion tab on our YouTube channels. And I used to post on there occasionally, but having the community tab, oh my god, that's so cool. It's like I can give the brief kind of snippet updates and not take up an hour or whatever of your time, and it's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, I was able to put the update of the spider. No, I'm not going to show it in the video, don't worry. I think you've all seen it enough. Yes, my big spider that was on my drill cases just behind my monitor or beside the monitor when I sat down to record last week. Hooly dooly, she was a good size spider. Apparently the males were a bit smaller. How you can tell when you haven't got one next to the other, or who the heck knows, but the girls apparently have a fatter abdomen, broader or some kind of thing. I don't know, she's got bigger hips. Yeah. Either way, she was quite calm. I opened the door right next to us, took off boxes that were not on her or that she wasn't touching, and she was fine. She just sat there. She didn't go scurrying off, which was good. And then hubby picked her up while I was able to keep an eye on where she was, and he put her out on the deck, and then I had to actually evict her off the boxes because she was quite attached to them. Not by a web, just, you know, not in a hurry to get off. And then when she did get put down onto the deck, she went trotting off. But the big thing here is the step kid will absolutely go ballistic when she sees a spider. Like, you have no idea. She will squeal like, you know, some of you probably would squeal too.
Like her mother.
Anyway, Marcus doesn't like this. He says it's like her mother, not like him, and he wants to stamp this behaviour, this learned behaviour, out of her. this is his opinion for his daughter. This is not his opinion, our opinion, or anything else against people who are desperately afraid of them, okay? This is his opinion for his daughter. Please do not take offense. And he wants this kid to have a bit more of a level-headed reaction. She gets hysterical when we mention Metho too, but don't worry about it. So, she gets called in after Sophie gets called in. Sophie was a little bit kind of, no, I don't want to go there. I don't know quite, I don't know, maybe she just didn't want to be put into a certain place in the room or something, I don't know. She was, you know, watching it too. But we brought the kid around to my left, which meant that she was kind of, you know, trapped, I suppose, in seeing this, because to scream and get hysterical and run away would meant actually passing closer to the spider. So she didn't. She stood there. She watched it from her distance, and then she started taking pictures of the thing. And she followed the spider when the spider went out and was running around the deck. No. I was so proud of her. She did really, really well. Because she wasn't freaking out, because we weren't freaking out. And all I had when I first saw the spider waving at me while I'm talking about the delicious squid tentacles last week, when I was editing my video, was the kind of, oh shit, right, that's all it is. I didn't know what this was that was waving to say hi, and it was just like, oh my god. And Marcus goes, oh, so that's the spider scream, is it? I said, yeah. It's not that I don't get startled, but once I realise what it is, it's like, okay, right, can deal with it now.
When it's that big and it's moving, it can be a little bit startling.
Yes. Yes. I mean, all she did was kind of like, hello. I was like,
when you've noticed the movement for some time, but it's taken a while to actually register that it's moving.
yeah. It's not,
And then it's like,
yeah. And she wasn't running around or anything else. Although she did start moving, and then she did start stretching, and I'm kind of thinking, you can, you know, and I was talking to her by the time it all finished. Yeah. She was only there for, I don't know, 5 minutes. Well, she was sitting there for more than 5 minutes, clearly. We're definitely not on first name terms. She got turfed out of the house. Sorry, not sorry. Ooh, there was something else I was going to tell you, and it wasn't to do with the spider. It was to do with, oh god, what was it? Oh, yeah, computers. This was a doozy. I should have recorded my WiPnChat on Sunday. I normally do my WiPnChat recordings on the Sundays because it gives me time to do the recording. Then it gives me the time to do the editing, and then it gives plenty of time for the uploading to happen. Me to do the end screen, add-ons, and all the other hokey pokey that happens in YouTube. But I hadn't got it done on the Sunday for whatever
Is this the part where you say that
reason.
I'm not pedantic?
No. What?
Is this the part where you say, no, Marcus, I got it wrong, you're not pedantic, you're the world's best something or other else?
Shut up, I'm about to say that you're my hero. So sit down and be quiet. Oh my god. He's high maintenance, this whole hero worship
I'm still so
thing.
put out by being called pedantic, I mean, really.
Right.
Anyway, I'll shut up now.
I missed one.
A little bit.
Okay. So, I went to do the video on the Wednesday because something happened on the Monday and something happened on the... Oh, Sophie got sick on Tuesday. Oh, jeez. Oh, crazy. I've got a lot to catch up on, I suppose. But you've kind of got that from the last WiPnChat, so I'll gloss over some of it quite quickly and just give you an update. So, Monday, I think I had appointments and didn't get the video done. Tuesday was going to get the video done and had plans to get the video done. And I think it might have been Monday evening, she started getting, clear, snotty, bit congested kind of thing. So the kid comes home from school and I gave her a great big lecture and said, go to the bathroom. I want you to wash your hands from fingertip to elbow, hot soapy water, and wash your face. Sophie has a cold and she's either got it from you, your snotty friends in school, or the other house. Be hygienic. So, she goes and does that. And when I put Sophie to bed, feel what I think is a scab in between her shoulder blades when I'm changing her. And don't really think anything of it, because I'm not going to go picking scabs off a kid and think, oh, she's just bashed it, when she had a bit of a tumble in play or whatever she was doing. And kind of left it. Well, in the shower then the next day, I don't shower with glasses. And again, you've probably had this story in more detail, so don't shower with glasses. Find that she's got a tick on her. Do some investigating with Dr. Google and find that it could be a paralysis tick. And I'm kind of going, okay, and remind me of the symptoms with paralysis ticks, and having squashed it thoroughly. And the information that Dr. Google was giving me was all veterinary related, and saying, oh, the animal will lose feeling or motion in its hindquarters. Kind of thing. That doesn't exactly help. But it does cause respiratory issues. Now, I understand, and the doctor clarified, a cold is not necessarily a respiratory issue. However, she's not a big kid. She's still under 10 kilos, right? She is the size of a small dog who is, you know, potentially, if they're going to have paralysis, it's going to have, you know, an effect. So we need to get this checked. She was having the breathing. So that was, you know, tick, one thing. So I was just being overly cautious. So I rang the health line. They said go to the doctor within 6 hours. So we trot off to the doctor, and that completely stuffs up the whole day. And she's fine. She's just continued to be clear, snotty, kind of snotty, nasally. Hasn't moved to the chest. She has, you know, spent more time sneezing, I think, on day 1, day 2. Hasn't been sneezing now. Has just been wiping the snot as kids do, you know, kind of. It's gross. And then we try and catch any of the snot that's running out when we can. So she was a bit kind of temperature delirious as well on a couple of occasions. Dosed her with paracetamol and she was fine. And I think it's all about getting in early. Now, I had a boy, my first boy, he used to catch everything, and he used to get horribly, horribly sick. Again, brand new mother, haven't got a fucking clue. Actually told the roving doctor one night, he has a temperature, and he goes, how do you know? And I said, because he's hot. He didn't even have a thermometer in his kit. Ah! Stupid after hours doctors that did house calls back in the 90s. Oh my god, that was frustrating. But he used to get infected, and he was such a sick kid for quite a period. Ended up then with the whole infantile asthma and all of that kind of thing, which he grew out of by the age of 2, as they do. And, you know, I became much more blasé when it comes to treating things, and get in a lot quicker with treating things now. So yeah, onto the paracetamol and, you know, all of that kind of thing, much, much quicker. And Sophie has not actually ended up being sick. Touch all the wood that I can, you know, touch. But in saying that, neither has Marcus been sick, and the hygiene has stepped up and all of that kind of thing. And especially even with, you know, the whole turducken thing, as we're calling it now. I think that's a brilliant name, Marissa. Oh, Marcus is saying it's a horrible thing to do to a turducken. Oh, okay. Anyway. Oh, he says it's a delicious smoked meal. I haven't had any. I do love duck though. Separate story. So she's been fine. She is still fine. We went on our walk yesterday out in the cleanest of air because we live in Tasmania, and she was not a bother. Okay, she did have a bit of a squat at one point on the way back on the... It was supposed to be a 20-minute return. I actually didn't time it, but it was more than 20 minutes because I'm walking at... Sorry? Well, we didn't wander. It was on the same path. We took lots of pictures. Holy cow. Are you ready for the pictures? Oh, good lord. So, the walk was basically a raised gravel walk with wooden railings on each side. You'll see it through the photos.
Railings?
No, not railings. A wooden curbstone. That's, you know. that just kind of kept the alpine growth from encroaching too much, kept the soggy from under your feet, and kept you from stepping on the protected stuff. So in 2 seconds, let me just find these last few teas out of the jar. If I hopefully don't have too many, I might leave it handy because I know I'm going to find more. It's quite a similar color to other ones. Yeah, so the town that we went to, Marcus had said to me, you know, where are we going to go tomorrow on Friday night? And I'm kind of going, oh geez, I really don't feel like going anywhere. I'm really, really sore, and it's not just back pain. It kind of feels like in the front of my hip kind of pain, like ovary kind of ache, and not affecting my judgment at all. He's not telling me I'm being a grumpy bitch whatsoever. Anyway, so, and I'm not going to tell you I'm being shorter because he'll give a quip to that one too. See, I get a giggle. I'm shorter than him. It's always been a standing joke. Oh, you're listening, are you?
Did I miss it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, you giggled joyfully.
Right.
Okay, so, yesterday.
That's the long and the short of it then.
Yes, it is. Shut up now. I went outside and Christy had put a short video up on Instagram. She goes outside and she colours, and she was going to go outside, and this clearly is something that annoys you on a regular basis, Christy, but she's got a rooster somewhere in her background that is grating on her nerves because of just where she's at right now. Okay, and I said to her, I said, oh, you know, I used to have a rooster. So this thing was going cock-a-doodle-doo in the background. You could hear it in her video. And I said, oh, I used to have a rooster. He was a foghorn leghorn. He was a white foghorn leghorn like the cartoon. And I called him Foggy. And he could only cock-a-doodle, which was funny as. And I absolutely adored Foggy. And I think we ended up giving him... gave him to a big farm or something. I don't think Foggy died. I think Foggy was given away when we, previous relationship, moved to Western Australia for a year. We didn't know we were only going for a year, but that's how it was. So, yeah, Foggy was awesome. And I was just relaying this. And I said, funnily enough, we have chickens and ducks next door. And I stopped and I listened. And I went, they're not making any noise. What the hell is going on? So I've actually got to double check with the neighbors. I know they're there, and I looked over the fence and the chickens are there, but they're all quiet. The ducks are normally causing an absolute riot, like nobody's business. And apparently when they have sex at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's just like free-for-all. But there's usually some kind of clucking, quacking chatter, and there hasn't been any of that chatter for yesterday and today, but hubby did say that there was chatter there yesterday morning. 4 o'clock in the morning, he reckons. It didn't wake me, so, but normally it's going on right through the day. It's just been remarkably quiet around the house, which is really, really weird. So I went up the driveway, which I don't often go up the secondary driveway. It's basically just a grass patch now, where the grass is kind of reclaimed. What was never really used as a... Well, I've never used it. Sorry, I have. I used to park there when I was dating Marcus. But that was about all it was used for. The 120Y got parked up there. I go up the driveway to check on the neighbours if they were away, to see if their cars were there. So as it turned out, their cars looked like they were there, and I didn't want to disturb them. It was like 10 to 9 in the morning. I didn't want to disturb them, so I didn't knock on the door or anything, and haven't knocked on the door because we then went out. But I might knock on the door today just to see, are they home, or is somebody babysitting, or what the hell has happened with the birds, because it was like this is really, really weird. So I walked to the top of the driveway. I know, long story short, just to see this. Okay? This, I love poppies. They are one of my favorite flowers. They are so delicate and fragile looking, but aren't they stunning? So I've got 3 poppies, I think, up the top of the driveway. Now, when it dries off and goes to seed, I will probably try and catch those poppy seeds and scatter them because, as I say, they're one of my favorite flowers. Have always loved poppies. My sister in Ireland has the most amazing little backyard. It's I can't even say it's, look, it's probably 20 foot by 20 foot. It's tiny, okay, but she has managed to make this wonderland with a recycling stream. She made some kind of dream hut in one corner at one point, but she's got this little brook that goes through the middle of this garden, and then she's got flowers and everything everywhere else that are just, it's bursting with life. So she gave me some, I think, opium poppies, so the purple, pale lilac and purple poppies way back. And I used to have them in my garden in Ireland, but I can't get my hands on any here because it's controlled drug and only controlled farmers can sell it, because opium. Tasmania is one of those places where you can actually, well, you can stop on the side of the road and you can see them. But we've got whatever controls that they have. What was it? What were you saying?
I said Tasmania is one of the rare places in the world where it's grown en masse for medical purposes.
Yeah, so we grow it for medical purposes. Oops, here in Tassie. And on occasion, people are caught with it, and it's kind of like, please do not make tea out of opium seed heads. It's slightly dangerous, and you know, if you don't know what you're doing, it will kill you. Apparently there's a couple of different varieties in the state as well. I don't know. All I know is they're pretty as all hell. Purple, you know, purple poppies, and they're huge. Like, the little red poppies are like that size. The purple poppies are like that size. They're monsters. But I wouldn't have a clue what to do. All I used to do with the seed heads, I used to dry them in our little, I don't know, 6 by 4 foot shed. I used to dry them upside down in a brown paper bag and then get the seeds at the end of the season and scatter them all over the garden again. So I was putting poppies all over my little garden in Ireland. Loved it. So, back to the walk, and I'll try and diamond paint while I do this. But you never know. We might not get there.
Might get lost in the driveway.
Yeah, get lost in the driveway. I'm going to keep a J. I've just noticed that there is a J in the middle of all that too. Alright, so look, this picture here with all the yachts, this is down the Huon estuary. I should have taken more. We're driving down. Now, Rachel will be familiar with this. The Huon reminds me of the Shannon in Ireland. It's one of my favouriteest places to ever be. Dad, when
Shannon or the Huon?
the Shannon, Dad, when he was dealing with me as a teenager, because I don't know, Mum never went on these. Dad used to take me and, I don't know, my cousin went on one and Ferns went on another one or something, or families. Ask Daddy. But anyway, we would go on these long weekends on the Shannon cruises. It's a big, wide, flat river, and I don't know, it just gave me happy memories of
Maybe,
time spent with family and that kind of thing.
sorry to interrupt. Maybe you should share your pictures of the Huon that remind you of Shannon with your dad.
I didn't actually take many pictures of the river today, so we have to go back and take more. I think we took him down there when he visited Tassie, but I probably haven't told him how fond I am of this place. So fond, in fact, that I actually named my daughter that I gave up for adoption Shannon. This is the effect that this gorgeous place had on me. I think it was the trip where my cousin was with me, where we went over the October bank holiday weekend or something in Ireland, and I think it was the October bank holiday weekend, maybe something to do with Halloween, I can't recall, or it might have been even the Halloween weekend, but it was foggy as all hell. And we're walking down from the mooring in this pea soup fog, and then we're, you know, cruising in this pea soup fog. Oh my God, it was just still and quiet. Anyway, the Huon reminds me of this, and yeah, very, very, very fond memories of this place in Ireland. So we went down, so you've got the river on your left, and it is mirror still in most cases. It's not a wavy river, unless it's windy or anything and you get a bit of chop, so it's flat calm. You've got yachts moored all along some of the stretches. You know, you get one or two, and then you get another group of, you know, 2 or 3 kind of thing, and then there was some under power as we are heading down this, it's called the D'Entrecasteaux Channel, from the French explorer, I think, who found it. Hang on, tea. Yeah, D'Entrecasteaux Channel. And it's beautiful. I've never actually been on the water down here. Just been shoreside. So, and again, there's no cruisers, there's no cabin craft, there's no... there is no kind of Shannon cruises that you could go on for me to be able to relive my Irish kind of memories of being on a boat. I have done it on the Murray up in the mainland, but they haven't got it down here, which is really, really stupid. I haven't seen cabin cruisers. They're not yachts. These are cabin cruisers. They're motorboats in Ireland, and they're varying sizes of 2 berth to 10 berth. Some of them are huge. It's fantastic, or at least it used to be. There were 2 companies that used to do it. There was RachelRaeCraft and Shannocraft, I think. Anyway, so we get down to the town that we're heading to, Geeveston. And the opening to getting into Geeveston is the 2 big tree trunks. And I tried to click like crazy as we're driving. We didn't stop for anything, so you've got glare on the windscreen and all the rest of that kind of thing. And going through Geeveston, we actually forgot to follow the navigator, and I got 2 snaps of a big hewn piece of wood and then a couple of wooden sculptures that were literally like click as I, you know, whooshing past. But get down to the Hearts kind of area where we HRTZ Hearts. It is actually, the water is so pristine down there. There is a water company. I was telling Sophie this, like she's going to understand. I was telling Sophie this as we were walking back from the walk yesterday. The water is so pure that there is a water company, a drink company that makes its drinks from the pure water. You know, complete with probably possum poop and mosquitoes.
I remember reading a story years and years ago when they first started that it was water off the roof of the footy shed that started them off.
Oh, water off the footy shed. Okay. I used to drink water off... No, it's not mineral water. No, it's not mineral water. I don't think it is a mineral water.
I think it's rainwater.
I think it's rainwater. It's just so pure because there's nothing around it to make it unpure. So anyway, we're driving down and suddenly we start seeing these trees. Okay. We'll call them trees. They were trees. They're kind of trying to be trees again. Okay. They are vertical sticks that have suddenly got bushy all up the whole trunk
Black
of the tree.
sticks.
They are black sticks, yes. A huge bushfire went through this region last summer. Like massive, massive bushfires. Houses were destroyed, houses were saved. There was a colossal effort to save houses. It was an incredible pulling together of the community. My local Christian radio station went down with the portable movie screen, and they set it up so that the people who were out of their homes could just sit back and chill and have somebody to listen to if they wanted to have a talk and just verbalize their grief or fear of not being able to protect their home while these bushfires were raging through this southern Tasmanian region. Very, very, very scary time for everyone because of how the topography is around Hobart. If the wind had blown north, Hobart would have been toast. It would have gone into Mount Wellington. It would have destroyed any of the towns up in the trees, and there is a town called Ferntree. It's probably got a population of a couple of thousand that have been destroyed before. It was destroyed in the 1967 fires. Colossal loss of life. There's like 3 roads in any direction, like one road in 3 different directions that you can get out of this area, and people died. Catastrophic deaths. So they're super, super careful when it comes to bushfires. And I had people, Tia's mum, asking me, you know, was I okay with the bushfires and all that kind of thing. Because they were, you know, pretty damn close. We're smelling smoke. We're living in smoke. It's affecting people with asthma. These trees lost it. Okay. The recovery of the eucalyptus, yeah, they're designed to do this. So the recovery of the eucalypts are such that the outer bark, if you want to call it bark, it's not really bark. It's almost like lagging. You know how you lag pipes? You put the protection around the pipes to keep the heat in. Well, there's lagging around these trees that keeps the heat out. The actual tree is tiny in comparison to the lagging on the outside. So there's trees that have these ribbons of outer bark that will fall onto the floor. It will peel like a banana from the top down.
But you end up
and
it's still attached, so it ends up attracting almost.
Yes.
Flames to go up the tree.
Yeah, so these, it's like having a...
And add to the leaf litter.
Adds to the leaf litter, adds to... Well, it doesn't really add to any compost because it's also dry that it doesn't really rot as such. But it falls down, peels off the side of the trees. It adds to the fuel load. The no bushfires go through, the fuel load gets bigger, and that's kind of what happened down here. Anyway,
Look at that big.
the trees all get decimated. The man ferns turn from the great big man fern that you saw in the photos last week. There were man fern photos through here. To the stump. Just the little stump. Right, we've got regrowth that I took pictures of towards the end of our drive because I missed them on the way in because Marcus is kind of going, no, we need to get there, kind of thing. But I'm seeing blacks kind of stand, and then these tree ferns that have caught the sunlight and have just exploded with their fern growth on top. It's incredible. So I've got a picture here of this beautiful tree fern with a tree next to it. Great big girth of a tree, but there's some of the skinnier trees. But you've got this regrowth up the side, which basically is your fuel load. The tree is basically going, give me energy with all of this leaf growth, so we can then put it into getting brand new growth up the top. So you get these trees that are bald, and they have this bald crown, or there's a new crown on top, and it's all dead at the bottom. It's bizarre, quite bizarre. Anyway.
And a whole forest of it.
Yeah, and there's forests of these. And there are some old growth big trees, like I've got with the tree fern and the big tree. We're driving along and there's this waterfall off to the right, and I kind of say to hubby, stop! Take the picture through his window. And then further along there's this massive tree that's fallen into the path, or further behind, I don't know which. There's a massive tree that's fallen into the path that has been, cut off to make access to the road. And then we've got this drive of the gravel road coming up to the Hearts Mountain Range. So you've been doing these zigzag, hairpin bend zigzags all the way for 20 kilometers. Getting higher and higher on the gravel log roads for the trees, right? And suddenly you break out into panoramic views, like 360s. I don't know if these 360s are going to work. There's 2 panoramic shots that I took that hopefully will be able to be inserted, or I'll try and convert them to JPGs to pop them in. but it's basically one side of the road, 360 to the other side, and it's just this vista. There's no trees up here because it's windy as all hell and trees can't grow. It's alpine, so it's boggy and marshy, and there are streams running every which way under the top of the thing. You can actually see, and I don't know if I got it on video or not. I think I might have taken a picture of it. You can actually see through the heath. You can see these little kind of rivulet gaps, if you know what you're looking for, and that's where a little stream is. And there's heaps of these. Marcus took pictures of the signs. I'm not sure that they're going to be legible though.
I did do a few videos where you can just hear the trickling. You can't see any streams anywhere.
Yeah, so I'll...
Trickle,
yeah, and they were getting louder and louder as we were going towards the Arve River. So this track, it's a 20-minute return, right? And there's karst limestone on top, so that's why the soil, the water table is so high, and it's so free flow water all under this. It's just, yeah, it's another one of those wows. And you know what, I'm thrilled that I can actually bring you on these wow walks with me. It's really, really cool to be able to share it with people who, you know, won't necessarily get to Tasmania, because it's, you know, it's a bit of an effort to get here. So
look how long it took you.
yeah, it took me all my life. Oh, that's the lunchtime. Can you put pizza in, please? So there's these karst areas with some of the plants. There's these white flowers are everywhere. Really, really common right through the walk. And the sphagnum moss that was, you know, I actually walked out of the way. Now, the national flower, and I didn't know this, and I said it to a friend of mine who does bushwalking, because it's, some guy got an award or something. He printed 10,000 stickers with the Waratah flower on it. I'm kind of thinking, I don't think I've seen that before. And he goes, oh my God, of course you've seen this before. And, you know, I got berated by people, and I'm kind of going, you know, go take your misogynistic bullshit somewhere else to some asshole who tried to tell me to get out of my phone and my makeup. He got a serve. He backed down pretty quick. But anyway, I didn't know that the Waratah was actually as small as it was. And Marcus was kind of going, I didn't know that the leaves were as thick as they were. These things are like the size of the palm of your hand, the flowers. And the plants are kind of scrawny looking. Like they really put all their energy into, or don't put all their energy because they don't have a lot of energy to do it, into these beautiful, beautiful little honey succulent flowers. So these are all... the Waratah is a honey-based flower, so you need the honey eaters with the long tongues, the proboscis kind of tongues, long tongues, and you need the honey, you know, so the things loop around with the pollen to pollinate, and then, you know, the honey eating happens and you go to the next flower. So the way it reproduces is just fascinating. But in the bush, you basically get these red colours through the green. It's amazing. And it's only the start of the Waratah season too. Now there were these funky orange plants. I'm looking at these and they're not terribly in focus, but there is a good one. I don't know what these are. Sorry, I don't have the name. And if I do find it on the plaque, I will let you know. It looks like little berries, but they're not. And they're on these dark green spears. Again, walking along the vista, you get this, it opens up and you get to see the mountain, the Hearts Range again, and it's just like, wow. And the rock was everywhere. There was only one butterfly. There was a sign talking about no tall poppies, but it gave you a description of what the plants were. I only got to see one poppy, and that was on the way back. I will continue to try and put some drills in, but, you know, photos are more important right now. And then you've got more of these spiky things. Oh, there's a picture of the gully now, where you can see that kind of gully just to the left of center going up the screen. Then it kind of gives a bit of a dog leg to the top center of the screen. That's a little stream. I think that's just a picture of roadway into path. I will insert videos through this to hear the sound of the babbling brooks. More of the alpine flowers, more of the banksias, the little furry men that I was talking about in the last week walk. This is the path. It's just a gravel path with the logs on each side, and it's open. Sophie was trotting between both Marcus and I. And then, oh good lord, we got to the riverbank. Where the path came down to the river, and there was fish in the bloody thing. Fish were about 12 inches long, and I think they're brown trout. There is a lake upstream that they must go to, and I don't believe that they would be native. I think these would be wild. I do know that the lake is peppered with fish. It's fed fish. So that the license holders each year can go and catch it on the lakes. So these are probably, you know, previous releases and they're just spawning themselves kind of thing. But they're not native to Tasmania, is my point. So it was a real thrill to be able to see the fish. We only saw wildlife. So we saw the butterfly that I didn't capture on camera because it fluttered off too fast. Which looked like a red admiral kind of thing. Again, it may or may not have been, and I'm not sure what's native to Tassie from a butterfly point of view, or what's introduced. There was scat from wallaby, and further down I'll show you the rabbit that Marcus caught, because he was the one who cracked that joke. He thinks it might have been a goat or a rabbit. He's not quite sure. But there was these, you know, little red berries, and again, this bright red catching my eye, and then the rest is just rock and green and, you know, more babbling brooks. And then we get to this raised wooden platform. Sophie was funny on this raised wooden walkway. She kept stopping, I think, and trying to step in between the boards on the, you know, on the boards and not on the gaps, and Marcus was cracking up watching her. And then we had these grasshoppers just sitting on there. Grasshoppers, crickets, whatever the heck they are. And they would barely jump when you got close to them. And then we got to this bridge, and I didn't look behind me, so I'm just looking upstream, videoing. And then I'll look and turn around because I'm recording videos for you guys and me. I'm recording videos, and then, you know, you turn around and there's this beautiful pool, and it's like, oh my god, on a hot day that would be just amazing to just go and sit in.
Apart from imagining how cold it is, imagine how deep that is. I mean, I would guess it's at least a metre, but you can't tell, can you? Either way, it's clear to the bottom.
But it's all kind of boarded off, so you're not meant to. I don't know who the hell will stop you, other than other tourists maybe. But it was beautiful, and I will insert those pictures and the sound, because it's just going to be like divine. So wander down to a couple of other stretches. There's more Waratah, there's more of the furry men, and then there's the wild rabbit. Yeah, I know, it was funny. There's couple of rocks and some trees sticking out, and Marcus is next to it. I don't know what he's doing. He's looking like a tour guide in one of those photos. Oh, he's taking pictures of more wonky wood, which is showing all the waves, and then I've got photos of him sitting on the rabbit, and then there's more moss, some better pictures than others, so I will only be putting in the better pictures for you. Sophie and I went off track on one bit, and then she slipped. She did the splits, poor girl, coming down on one slippy bit of gravel. And then, like, this is pretty much the end of the walk. You come out to the top of a platform, the top of the steps, and you walk down to a little viewing platform, and you've got the river going from your extreme left right under your feet almost, and then it goes down and falls and falls and falls and goes down into the valley to your right. It's like 180-degree river, and it just disappears off into the wild blue yonder. And Marcus has taken some video for us here, and I'll have popped in the bits. so far. Yeah. You got this out of your mouth. Through the video. So again, this is going to be a very, you know, intensive video. Oh, I forgot to tell about the hero bit. I got distracted by something.
Oh, I do have a video of Sophie hopping
Oh, good. I couldn't tell. I've downloaded everything and it's just gone into a zip file and I'll sort it out when I go to edit. The hero bit, yeah. I was uploading this photo heavy video for the WiPnChat last week, which ended up going out on the Friday instead of the Wednesday. Yeah, the video was was exporting, and Marcus's parents call in, and I had literally just kind of gone, I'm done. I need to get away from the computer. So I go and sit on the couch, put a video on, and his parents knock on the door, and the thing is exporting. I've got it open on the page so I can see how the progress is going. And the next thing I know, the screen is black. And I go, what the hell? And then I try and turn on the computer and I get nothing. I get complete silence, complete dead air. Nothing is turning on except, you know, the blue light on the TV, on the monitor, and nothing else. And I feel sick to my stomach. Marcus is already out. He was at the Bunnings hardware store or something when his parents messaged. And because I don't think they thought we were home because the car wasn't in the driveway. So they hadn't knocked on the door because, you know, they didn't think we were home. Yeah, so they were just on the way back from appointments themselves. And yeah, they call in. So here I am feeling sick as a dog, going, my WiPnChat, my WiPnChat, my video, my computer, my video, and my people, and my video. And that's all I could think about. And I'm feeling sick as a dog. And I'm having to sit there and be patient for his parents to leave. And Marcus just go, you know, he's kind of going, well, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, what can you do? And he goes, well, I can, you know, build you a new one, kind of thing. I'll see what's downstairs and I'll see what we've got. And he's going through his inventory in his head of bits of pieces and what goes where and all that kind of thing. And then he goes, okay, you have a choice. You can have this body or this body. And I'm kind of thinking, you're going to get me a size 10 body. Yeah, awesome. No, it's a computer case. And he goes, you can have this one or this one. And I sound like, well, you can have the the shiny silver one or the Darth Vader one. And I kind of go, well, we'll see what fits under the desk. And I say, well, we're going to have to go with the black one. And he said, well, this thing's got 9 fans. And he's trying to tell me about it. It's got 9 fans. He's got heat sink and blah, blah. And I'm kind of thinking, whoosh, 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 tech stuff.
Drives, 9 fans.
And I'm kind of going, do I care? Do I need to care? Just get my computer back. Please, please, please. And we end up going with Darth Vader, and we're calling it Chewbacca and Huey, and because he's saying this thing is, you know, it's a beast. It's going to be a chopper that's going to take off. He's telling me how noisy this thing is going to be. It's not that noisy. Capable of being really noisy. Anyway, it's humming in the background at my knee. It's not really distracting if I've got a video playing it. In the silence, yeah, it's a bit kind of...
You're not really pushing it that hard, are you?
But he says I'm not pushing it. Anyway... I do dinner, he does the computer, he tells me I've got to install it, so I'm under my desk and I'm pulling at cables and everything else, and I start it back up again. He puts my old computer brains into the new computer body, and I go from having Simon Pegg to having Hugh Jackman, or who's the other one? Chris Hemsworth. I've got Chris Hemsworth under my desk. I wish. Anyway, the computer works. And it starts up and it's going Pippa Brown. And I'm going, okay, it looks okay on the surface. And I go into my computer and I go to my file, app selection, and I open Chrome and my tabs all open up just like it was. And I'm going, no. And then I go into my Drive, a window page that I use for my editing program. So I have 3 windows for all those tech-minded people. I've got 3 windows, so my window is for my browser, and then I've got a window for my recorder, and then I've got a window for my processor.
You mean a virtual desktop?
A virtual desktop. Technical stuff. Anyway, so I've got these 3 windows. Go into my program, my OBS, no, not my OBS, my OpenShot, which I do my editing in. And I open up my OpenShot. Now, OpenShot in the previous the previous life that it had, if it broke down and I had to reboot OBS, it would go, hey, I have a program. Do you want your unsaved work? So I go in and I go open, and it goes, hey, we've got your unsaved work. And all of the photos, all of the cuts that I did to try and cut Sophie screaming or whatever it might have been in my editing, everything was there, and I just hit export. And then it sat there and did its thing for another 2 hours or whatever while it was editing the app. And then I started uploading it the next day, I think it was. Because it was just like, I'm exporting it, I'm walking away, I'm going to bed. I'm absolutely knackered. Sweat was pouring off me. I had been under the desk and shoving my chair and shouldering my way underneath me and everything else. My hubby was my saviour. Is my saviour. He is my hero.
Linux rules.
Linux does rule. Oh my god. The stress, the sick feeling, and I put it on the creators chat that we have. Oh my god, my computer just died. My husband's onto it, but oh my god, I feel so sick. And I just shared with the girls, and they're all kind of going, yeah, but hubby's onto it. And it was like, yeah, hubby's onto it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, thank God for hubbies that know what they're doing.
Thank goodness
Because
I was right all these years.
because if it was somebody else, they would have gone, oh shit, we got to buy a new computer, and I would have lost all my data. And I'm kind of thinking, I know there's a way that, you know, if the drive is safe, the data is there, blah blah. And it's just like, oh my god, so relieved. And you got a cracking ass video that was fully spontaneous, as it should be, with a WiPnChat. So while I'm talking about spontaneous, I'll go and check that we're still recording. Because if I've been talking to myself for the last hour and 12 minutes, that would have been a bit painful. So, hello! I'm still here. God. Back to the walk. Alright. So we get to the steps. And, yeah, it's just this tiny little platform, viewing platform. And some dude comes out of nowhere in a football fandom shirt on. I think Marcus said hi to him. I didn't say anything to him, but Marcus said hi to him, and the guy... Sorry? In both languages. Oh yeah, Northern and Tasmanian. North Tasmania and Southern Tasmania, because, you know, they don't say good day up north. They say hello or something. How are you?
Oh, it's the other way around. Oh,
yeah. Anyway. So he says hello, and the guy doesn't say anything to him, and I didn't say anything to him either. But he walked down to the platform while we were there. I was hogging the corner, looking at this river going off into the distance, while his cold, not cool, cold breeze billowed in from the sea, way off yonder. And it was so refreshing. Now, it wasn't hot yesterday. It was kind of like low, very low 80s or late 70s kind of temperatures.
Stop talking about Fahrenheit like you know what it means.
It was kind of mid 20s yesterday, or even low 20s yesterday for us. And yeah, I was just kind of standing there in this refreshing breeze. Anyway, spot dude in the corner, and Marcus is going, yeah, there's that was Flopsy. That is Flopsy. You're going to lose Flopsy.
So I was gonna say,
That's not good enough. So she's getting giddy. I don't know if she's had access to sugar or what. I don't think so.
Give her a biscuit.
Well, she hasn't eaten the biscuits because I can see it.
She's eaten one.
Anyway. He goes into the corner, stands there for... he stands there for, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds? Turns around, walks away, and gone. Was like, what the heck? really, really weird. You spend 10, 15 minutes walking in, and then you hightail it out of there. It was like there was no appreciation whatsoever. I don't even think he took a picture.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
And he was waiting to stand where you were standing.
Okay, but he didn't hang around.
I made a joke about there being
A queue.
to take a number.
Yes.
To stand in the,
Yes, and then I realised,
In other
he
words,
was
I was asking
waiting.
you to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
away.
yeah. And I moved. But no, he didn't hang around. And he was gone as quick as anything. And Sophie decided that she was going to go sit on the steps and look all adorable. And then you get the photo of Marcus and I, because I don't take selfies. And Marcus was behind me for the one time. So, yeah. Got a picture of us at the bottom of the waterfall.
well, that was back to front. It's mirrored. I'm wearing a pink Floyd
Yes, it is mirrored. I might flip it then. And do magic. And you can actually see how it really was.
Yeah.
You can't see anything in it. You can see the viewing platform, which is like tiny. But you can't see river or anything else in it. So the river shots are smattered amongst it. Now, we're in the middle of nowhere here. And on the path just above the platform, my phone starts pinging and I start getting Facebook messages from my friend, because I'd told all the girls, hey, we're going bush, because there was questions about the premieres. I said, we're going bush, talk to you later, because that messenger was going off. And I was sick of having the phone in my hand watching Messenger. So I was like, no, I'm going off air. So the phone starts pinging and I'm messaging my friend and I'm kind of saying, hey, we're here, and take a picture. And it's like, hey, join me. So that was really funny. And we're talking about the Bee Stitch Me Friday night fight night that's on. I'm going, I don't think I'm going to have a signal, so I don't know if I'll be there, and that kind of thing. And then it's like, going to continue walking. So there's more pictures of some Waratah that was there. I was trying to get a good picture. Waratah. That was there, the red flower, and then there's more of the trees for some reason. I think it was the difference between this kind of sawgrass that's down the bottom of this picture and the rest of the trees, which are kind of that greeny grey. Sawgrass will cut you like ribbons, or into ribbons, and then you get infected and then you die. That is the beauty of getting lost in the Tasmanian wilderness, which is why they told the prisoners down in convicts, the convicts down in Port Arthur, don't try running, you'll die. And the stupid ones who did either died or came back saying, please, can you feed me and get me better, which has happened. But that's another story when we go down to Port Arthur someday. So then we look on the map, and because 2-3 cars have passed us on this whole duration that we were on this walk. And we look on the map and it's just like a very, very short drive further on and a loop. So we go up there and there's buckets of cars in the car park. Like 20 or 30 down the end of this car park. There's day walks from around this point into... Yeah, it's a road to nowhere. There's day walks from this point into the Hearts mountain range. And we will go back and we will do them better prepared, because, we weren't going for lunch or bringing a packed lunch or anything like that. You need to have your park pass. You need to leave it on the dashboard of your car. You need to register as a walker to say when you're in, when you're out. Some of these are day walks, as in 3-4 hours return. And there's one walk to Lake Osborne, which was a 40-minute return. So we'll go back and we'll do that. And they say there's a sign on the way out saying this is your last phone reception area in the Hearts mountain range. If you've got an emergency, just to be aware. I think they've probably put this in, I don't quite know why. They probably made sure that there is a signal down to some of this location, because they really don't care if you haven't got signal. But at least they tell you when you're not going to have signal. So again, we just kind of wander around the day area. There's this gorgeous, I suppose, information space that they've got, where the seats all on one side and it's panoramic windows on the other, where you could be given a guide, kind of lecture before you go on your walk or something, if they do guided walks. But then we went to the Waratah lookout, and there's lots of photos of Sophie on a little bridge. Marcus is taking pictures of me. You really don't want to go seeing my rear end. But we took a video as we came down to this.
Are you saying I was taking videos of your ass?
I don't care if you have the videos of my ass. I just don't necessarily want to give it, inflict that of, yeah, inflict it on anyone else. No, you took photos.
Of your ass.
I took a video. Yeah, you did take a video. There's a 1 minute video here and a 1:19 that I took with Sophie ahead of me. So. One, two, three, 6. You ready? I'm gonna keep you looking left. No, not left. The other right. That one. Tree in the way. There's a tree blocking the view. But I'm gonna let it block the view. You ready? You're still looking right. And you can hear the water. And there is a beautiful cool breeze coming from inland. Oh, we've got phone signal. And down to the valley floor. And hear the water. Bit of a drop. Lots of dead crowns.
Don't drop the phone down there.
Lots of dead trees sticking out from the undergrowth. And I'll show you some fire on some other pictures. How amazing is this? This is the Waratah lookout. I take the video and I deliberately keep the camera down, I think, and over to the right hand side, and I'm talking to you on this video and explaining what I'm doing.
Ah.
So
Yes, that was when I was taking a video of you doing the video.
yeah, so I'm taking this video trying not to show you the view, and then I bring the camera around and I hope it's worked out because I haven't looked back on it. And again, I've got phone reception here, so I'm messaging my friend and saying, hey, I'm here, and click, take a picture and send it to her. And it's just this open vista, now looking down over the hill range, not the mountain range, and it's just goes from green to grey to blue as the distance just grows, and it's just like, oh my god. And yeah, Marcus is kind of saying to me, he said, have you looked down? I said, only through the camera lens. So I tip the phone down and show you what we're above. And then I look down, and I'm looking down onto the tops of the trees at the, grow down, further. I was like, holy cow, that's a bit of a fall. Yeah. It was, yike. Yeah, he told me not to drop the phone down there. But I have a loop on my phone because, again, I'm terrified of losing my phone in places like this. So I put a loop on my fingers and keep a hold on my phone. But, yeah, it was amazing. And there was a couple of bushes in the undergrowth that you can see these red spots. That's the Waratah in the undergrowth. And, again, this is the start of the season for the Waratah. It's going to get better and better and more glorious down there. Then on the way out, I take some more pictures of the lichen. The lichen is just insane in this little area. It's got this furry grey stuff. It's weird. And then there was the lichen curling around a tree, and it was almost like it stuck like a slug and then just grew out and out and out. It's like an animal taking over, which lichen really is, I think. It's one of those weird planty animal kind of crossovers. So going back out, like this is now on the way out of the mountain range. Can you see, it's like, this was one of the shortest walks, but the most photos that we've taken. It was incredible. Going back out, there were certain stops that I wanted to make. So I wanted to get that waterfall that was on Marcus's right coming in and take the picture of this water pouring down the rock face. And it hasn't rained here, I don't think, for a while. So it's not even all pouring down. There's just this one chunk that's pouring down. But I try and get the idea of how long this rock face is for you and take some panoramic, you know, wide shots to show all of this limestone-ish kind of rock. There's the big tree, and then I noticed that there's a hubcap on the tree that somebody has, you know, kindly put up for someone else to pick up. As it's annihilated. You couldn't put this anywhere. Not quite sure why it's even there.
Maybe they hid it.
I don't know. More tree ferns. Now these tree ferns were huge. These are called man ferns or tree ferns, and some of the spreads of these babies were monstrous. Like you're talking 30-foot span, like an eagle span. They are huge. Eagles are big-winged. Okay, they're not 30 feet, but anyway. Anyway, there's some fern here that I really reminded me of the New Zealand fern. Any of my kiwis there, this looks like the fern that's the emblem for the for New Zealand, for the All Blacks. I was trying to think of them. But then you get this, and I saw this on the way in, and I said to Marcus, I wanted to get this on the way back. There was this area that was black trees, but these pops of green with the tree ferns, how they've regenerated. And I found them on the way back after a lot of kind of, is it there, is it there, is it there, kind of over, you know, through him driving. And his patience with trying to find the right spot was fantastic, and I really appreciate it. But we found it, and look at it, everything is black, and then you've got this regeneration from the tree ferns, and you can see these 3 or 4 leaves as they're regenerating, because in the core is the heart of these plants. And then I've got a very close-up of this fir that you see in general on the trees, but this is how they regenerate. I've got a black trunk with the fur of the leaves, and that's what you see, all of those leaves as we're leaving. So we end up with these 2 cars in front of us, so I don't care, I'm not blocking out registrations or anything, it's just they were people on the road. But we had these 2 cars in front of us, and we're just, you know, clicking these furry trees so I could show you how it regenerates. And then there was this copse of tree ferns again. Then we went through some towns to leave the Geeston area, and we're start coming into Huonville. Now, I could have taken this picture on the way up, although it's tricky because we were on the wrong side of the road, and I knew there was a lookout on the way back. When we drive down, the Mount Wellington, which is, you know, the big mountain in Hobart, has the left side, as you look at it, I guess, it stretches down into this southern valley, and there's a peak that's called Sleeping Beauty, and this is worth you probably looking at the pictures again. Sleeping Beauty literally looks like a woman sleeping. You've got the face, you've got the bust, and it's almost like you've got the hands, you know, in the Disney movie, that, you know, how you place the hands of a dead person across the belly or the chest. That's what it looks like. That's why she's got this name, Sleeping Beauty. So this is the Sleeping Beauty from a distance, and then we pull over to a lay-by. Yeah, it's Mount Wellington from the side. We pull over to a lay-by to take another picture of her. And then the only other photo I think I've got potentially is, do you remember I mentioned in either last week's WiPnChat or a couple of WiPnChats back about this house that was amazing, you know, this little fairy house in the glade kind of thing? Well, because we're on this stretch of road, I asked Marcus to divert off route, you know, by a couple of kilometers to take a picture of the house in the glade. And this is the house in the glade. And it's literally down in this little valley. It's all green. It's got the green roofs. It's actually a huge house. I forgot how big it was. But it's just in the middle of trees. And it's just gorgeous. Anyway, my favourite house. Oh, and yesterday the drama was... yesterday evening, what was I doing? I was either tidying up the kitchen or serving pizza. Yeah, it might have been, this pizza might have gone off. And I look out the window and see this billowing smoke. And as I'm looking at it, I can see flames. And I'm going, Oh crap! There's a massive fire. Can see the... I'm gonna have to stop swearing. Can see the flames billowing out, and I'm thinking, oh god, that's a huge fire. Gonna have to see and what's going on and where it is and all that kind of thing on the fire page. And it turns out that the school is on fire. I go onto the Hobart Police scanner. There's some dude who broadcasts a police scanner, and I listen in on that for a couple of minutes because we're in the middle of pizza and watching a movie, just to see if we can pinpoint where it is. Tasmanian Fire just put on their fire page that there's a fire on the road, like, main road Glenorchy, but they don't give a specific address. From our point of view, looking at Google Maps, it was like kind of the school, and Marcus was kind of going, yeah, I think it's Cosgrove. Turns out to be Cosgrove. People on Facebook are going, because they listen, this page, Vigilante news page, listens to the scanner all the time as well, and he goes, people are on the page going, yeah, it's block A, B, C, whatever, and bemoaning for teachers, saying, I'm so sorry, all your hard work and this kind of thing. So yeah, it turns out it's one of the blocks. Don't know what the damage is. I'm sure it'll be on the news if I care to check further what it was or what was damaged, and stop caring. I don't know. It's the high school in Glenorchy. It could be a detached building, but by golly, the flames were so high, it was quite scary. But the fireys, again, the fire page says how many trucks go in, so it's 4 big trucks, and when we were looking at it, a truck came in. I said to Marcus, I said, that's probably the city fire brigade, because I think, or could it even be the Mornington one from across the shore, because the I don't think we have a fire brigade in Glenorchy. And then you've got the urban, sorry, I get this straight, you've got the volunteer rural fire brigade who deal with non-building emergencies, like they deal with bushfires, and then you've got the paid career fireys, I suppose, and their base, yeah, I think it's only Hobart City, so it would have taken them 5 to 10 minutes to get here, even with the lights going. So yeah, it caught, and it caught well. So I'm sure there will be notices going out on the school's page, but we don't have kids in the school there, so yeah, kind of care but don't really care. It's not necessarily thought of as the best of schools, but yeah, it's still a shame to lose facilities. So yeah, that's the last of the drama, and I'll put that photo in of the smoke from the house that hubby so nicely caught. But yeah, that's yesterday's trip. It was amazing. It was short. We were home by 2, which was really nice, because the other trips that we've done were kind of away all day, and hubby was really hoping to get on with installing a kitchen light. So we've got a big long batten, he's calling it now, over the window and kitchen sink, so the kitchen, and it's a white light, so it's really, really bright. So he's put that in. He was giving out to me because I didn't get up early enough to leave at 8 o'clock. He wanted to leave by 8. And he gave me breakfast in bed and coffee, and that was amazing. But we got on the road probably an hour after he had really wanted to. Oh my god, the drill has got stuck sideways into this thing. Heaven's sake. Get out. Yeah, we got going by 9, which, was kind of okay. But whether or not we can get on the road by 8 in the future, we probably really need to, because it's early enough then when we get to wherever we're going to miss the worst of the sun, or hopefully miss the worst of the sun. I got sunburnt yesterday. I'll show you in just a second. Sorry, I'm just playing with drills that are probably not going to cooperate now. Oh no, they did. I got a little bit of colour on my arm. That I don't worry about. I was wearing long sleeves, just had them pulled up to my elbows. Sophie had long sleeves on, a hat. I had my Akubra. And that was all good. So wasn't concerned really about getting any sunburn at this time of year. But later on, in the summer, it's going to be like 5 minutes and I'm going to be toast. The Tassie sun, the last we heard was the hole in the ozone layer is right above us. So the sun is particularly vicious because we don't have the ozone layer protecting us. So the UV factor may have been 5 yesterday. It goes up to extreme and, you know, don't go out and kind of thing. Well, Sophie, being the white blonde, is going to turn into a crisp. She's going to get so burned. My youngest boy had dark hair and slightly olivey. No, he wasn't olive, but because his dad was Irish, but he had, you know, brown hair. But he would go to the sports carnival, take his shoes off and get sunburnt to the point where he couldn't put his shoes on, which made me go all kinds of cranky pants off at the school. Because the second year it happened, I specifically said, do not take your shoes off and put on sunscreen like it's going out of fashion. Well, he didn't. And he couldn't walk for 3 days on this event. So angry. So angry with that. Because I'm kind of going, you're fucking Irish. You're mother chicken. Yeah, it was, and I know her being blonde, she's at even more risk. So we've really got to keep an extra eye on her. So she was wearing a little hat and she kept it on. Brilliant. I forgot to put the sunglasses on her. That would have been the next bonus because the eyes are the next thing that get oversensitized, but I don't want to abuse them. I had tinted glasses, I think, when I was a kid. My first pair of glasses was tinted and I can't go anywhere without wearing sunnies these days. I don't know how the hell the kids cope because they don't have sunnies. But Marcus's girls are both Aboriginal mother, so they've got the darker olive skin and they don't really burn. So I'm way more careless, I suppose, with them, knowing that they're at less of a risk of burning because of their colouring. We've only got the 11-year-old now, but yeah, less concerned. We still put the sun cream on them, but I'm less worried that they're going to burn in like 2 minutes as I would be with Sophie, who is blonde and white, and yes, will and has got sunburned or tanned in the winter sun. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, this week is going to be filled with, I think it's, yeah, we tried making an appointment with Marcus to fill a script, and his phone, he reflashed his phone. I think I might have even mentioned it. Reflashed his phone, so he didn't have his phone on one of the days that we were going out. And because he had reflashed it, for some stupid reason it wasn't ringing when people called him. So his doctor was ringing to do the script appointment and it wasn't ringing with next to me, and I was like, so we missed the call. So now we've got to chase up either that doctor or another doctor to give him the scripts, because he's going to be out when it comes to the actual script running out and needing to be filled when his GP is away, which is all kinds of frustrating, because we specifically went and we specifically told him, and he told us this was a repeat script and he mustn't have ticked the box. So it really feels like we're wasting our time and we're wasting his time when the doctor screws up. So yeah, got to try first thing tomorrow morning to make an appointment to see him, like an on-the-day appointment kind of thing. We couldn't go in on Friday because Sophie was still kind of snotty and coldy, so or Thursday, so we missed it. Anyway, I've got an appointment on the phone with my GP, just to see how the meds are going, and I'll be kind of going, yeah, well, really sore, and sleep is a challenge. I can get to sleep. Staying asleep, I wake up at maybe 1, I think last night it would seem to be like, I think it was 11:50 last night I woke up. Really, really sore, trying to get into a position that I was comfortable in, and so I feel like I'm sleeping on my left side, and the only thing I'm doing is rolling onto my back and then rolling back onto my left side. So sleeping's not good because I'm getting the pain, and trying to just relax and then fall back asleep again has been a bit of a challenge. I'm not feeling like I'm lying overly long, so we're kind of there, but I don't know how much extra I can take. But I think on the first night that I woke up and I was really sore, I actually took a couple of paracetamol in the middle of the night, which I know I can take, but I'm not waking up in the middle of the night just to take pills. It was just that I was really sore and I took them. Now, I think I have got these finished. I think I'm just seeing the tent left, so let me put these away. Right. So yeah, I mean, I'm basically just checking in on my doctor just to tell him, okay, and I'm going to need another week off. He's giving me only a week off at a time, which is kind of wearing because I'm not seeing any improvement. I'm not getting either the sleep at night or the functionality during the day. So yeah. Anyway, I'll see what this other doctor has to say on Tuesday. I don't know if he's gonna base his assessment on his physio's thing, or he's gonna be getting me to move this way and that and all of that kind of thing. Marcus is kind of telling me, can you just prepare yourself and just put up with not good enough, because he's had chronic pain for years, and he's kind of going, I've had to teach myself this. This is why he's trying to teach me what he didn't have available to him when he was learning this. And it's all kinds of frustrating. You know, the grass is ridiculously long. I think it was a couple of weeks ago I cut the grass at the top, because funnily enough, one of the most comfortable positions is actually crouching down. So I was crouching down. Ordinarily I couldn't do this. I was crouching down with the shears, cutting all the long grass up in Mocca's area. And this morning, for a brief 5 minutes, which is why the recording was delayed, because I was a hot sweaty mess, for a brief 5 minutes I hacked the grass down that was on the way to the compost bin, you know, because snakes and all that kind of thing. So, and then I gave up. It was like, oh my god, I'm knackered. Yeah, but I got that little bit done, so it's a little bit clearer. I've got a little bit more peace of mind, and then it's going to be easier to keep down. Now, I have been explaining to Sophie, we've got these plants, which I think I might have spoken about in one of the other WiPnChats, about the seed pods that explode. They're these little purple flowers. They're really, really pretty. Again, it's just a weed, but it's a bit of a kind of creepy weed in that it will... No, this one's not. This one's more a sweet pea-ish kind of thing. If I think of it, I'll run down, I'll grab some pictures, and then I'll put them into the video afterwards. And it's a sweet pea kind of flower, so it grows like a sweet pea. It's kind of thin, spindly, supports itself kind of thing. But the flower, when it seed pods, has these seed pods that are probably about 2 inches long, skinny things, and they dry and they go black. And then in the hot sun, you can hear them exploding everywhere, and it's just like pop, 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 pop. It's an amazing sound. And I was explaining to Sophie about these plants and saying, look, this is what it is, and this is what it's going to do, and it's going to go pop, 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 and you're going to hear all these sounds, because she'll hear a new sound and she'll go, what's that noise? What's that noise? What's that? You know, so she's fascinated by all of this. And, you know, I'm just chatting about this kind of thing when I'm out doing the washing, because she insists. She is pedantic about wanting to go outside with us. But she never wears her shoes and socks inside. As soon as she walks in the front door, she's dropping down on the ground, shoes and socks. I hit a key and it stopped recording. So she throws her shoes and socks, and I have to tell her, put your shoes and socks away. So, yeah, so they're always in the same place. But, oh my God. Yeah, so now she's actually, because we're not helping her go outside, she's putting her shoes and socks on herself when she wants to. And then on the other days, she's kind of, like this morning, going out to the cats, she's kind of going, no, I'm not doing it, you're going to do it. I was like, oh. If I'd gone out the door and left it so that she could get out the screen door, because she's now tall enough to tap the handle down and push the door open. If I had left the inside door open, gone to the screen door, she probably would have dropped down, put her shoes and socks on herself, and then come out and joined me. Well, I had putting her shoes and socks on. And then we went out. Oh, I hate when that happens. You've got them all lined up and then they flip. Yeah, so pizza's cooking. It's smelling delicious. Marcus did the most amazing dough yesterday. After installing the light, and you know, he is off work classified as having a disability between the head injury and physical stuff, you know, unable to work. So, but he was kicked off that because I earned too much and all that kind of thing. But he, on occasions, will really pull out all the stops and really go above and beyond, and hopefully not hurt himself in the process. So we got home from the walk, and he put the light up because he'd already prepped it. Put the light up. The kitchen now is bright as all anything. It's amazing. So now, and then we still have the spotlights to fix on the ladder light, which are the lights just above the counter. So I'm going to have a really bright kitchen, because I hate cooking in the gloom. And without these lights, oh my God, it was dark, because we had them, got used to them, and then something happened and they stopped. And it was like, oh my God, give me my lights back. I so miss my lights. So, yeah, he's done all these electrical kind of things. Oh my goodness. Again, spring, and you lose your drills. But yeah, he will do all of these things. And he's got new lights for, I think, most of the rooms. They're called Pearl lights. And they basically are these flat spheres, pancakes. A Dutch pancake kind of shape, if you're used to Dutch pancakes, you know, little pancakes. Well, there's one that, I kid you not, is probably 2 feet across, and that's going to be going up behind me where the boxes are. There's actually, just here, there's 2 wall sconce kind of lights, droopy lights. I hate them. The shells have got knocked and cracked and broken, and they're just gross. Dust gatherers and all that kind of thing. So he's got a light for there, but it's one huge mother that he's got to install. He's got to figure out the way that the lighting is to wire it, and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, so all those instructions will be given. But the kid has had a new light put into her room that flashes. So we might be able to go, hey, you've got outstanding jobs, and I can stop stressing. And she can go, oh shit, I've got jobs. Oh, bloody hell. Now I've got to go do some work rather than playing on my phone. But it saves me hollering and getting frustrated. And I can just hit the button and go, Pippa's pissed, you've got jobs. Without... and the steam coming out the ears and all that kind of thing. I'm in a step-mum group, step-parent group, blended families group, or whatever it is on Facebook, and I'm kind of thinking, oh, this isn't really giving me the help and advice that I need to deal with my frustration and the lack of progress, intelligence, whatever, and I'm really gonna, how do I back off? Well, somebody else in that group responded to someone else going, join the Nacho group. And I'm thinking, what the? And somebody else went, you've got to sing this chant, macho, macho man with nacho, nacho mum, as in not your mum. And I kind of thought, oh God, that sounds all kinds of corny. Let's give it a look-see and see if it, it will help. Well, holy cow, this group is a game changer, because it's very much, how do I be a parent or not a parent to these kids who already have their parents? And how do I back off the whole getting frustrated, and how do I deal with the frustration because I see them with different standards, and how do we blend birth and steps and all that kind of thing? And I'm really seeing that this could be a really good resource. So apparently there's podcasts that I need to listen to, and yeah, go from there. But it's basically taking a step back, because I'm not their mum, but it's taking a step back and going, I'm not your mum, I don't need to stress that bit. But Marcus with the acquired brain injury and everything, I kind of feel, well, do I need to or don't I need to? Like, I moved in here and I took over the kids' reading because the reading standard was, shite. Well, Mum didn't give a shit because her reading standard is just as bad and doesn't potentially think that it's important. I don't know what she bloody thinks, but she's a high conflict birth mother, if you're aware of any of these kind of terms. And he's a high conflict birth dad with her because, this bitch has kidnapped his kids 3-4 times without any warning, without any excuse, without any kind of contact in between or anything else. She's just being a, bitch. So I'm there to help him keep his head together and help him get through court and all this kind of thing. And potentially, yes, overly involved, but I've needed to be the person who's been involved for his sake. So it's very, very hard then to kind of go, you haven't done this job, you haven't done that job. And he's kind of telling me, well, you just chill a bit, and I'm kind of going, okay, she's come here, she's in the back of the car, she's looking like she wants to fall asleep on day one. What the hell? She's 11. Why does she not have the energy? And I'm kind of going, well, what the fuck has been going on in the other house? She's either not sleeping. Oh, trust me, there's stuff. She'll sleep on a baby, bassinet mattress, 1.5 inches thick on the floor because she wants to sleep with the dog. Like, everything is permissible. No rules, no healthy eating. And it's the dichotomy between the two is just frustrating for me. It's learning how to not take offense that she was given noodles on her school lunch kind of thing when it's not me feeding her. Try not to take offense when she has been told, look, make a salad sandwich because it's going to be more filling for you and better for you than marmalade that's half in the roll with no butter. And we had to stop giving her any treats because she wasn't eating what she was given as a substance food rather than the treats. And all of this kind of, it's just like, So, it's learning to just kind of go, well, if you want to eat a Vegemite sandwich, you can eat a Vegemite sandwich, and screw you, and I'm going to try and backpedal. But when it's not done, or, she gets distracted by playing with Sophie, and I'm kind of thinking, yeah, it's all well and good you playing with Sophie, but you've got responsibilities, you've got your jobs to do. So she's left without me getting on her back this time because there was a big blue on Thursday night, and she didn't tidy her room, she didn't put her clothes in the wash, so the washing won't be done, she won't necessarily have underwear to use. She's coming back to her room that's as disgusting as when she left it, and I'm not doing it. I never have tidied her room. But I've said to Marcus, I said, with you telling me to back off and remind her, because I would be freaking out, because it's kind of like, oh, for fuck's sake, you haven't done this. Oh, yeah. And I'd be getting worked up, which wasn't helping, true. But I said, you are going to see consequences on yourself too. And it's not a threat, it's just, I'm just warning you. This is going to backfire on you too. And it's going to come down on you. And he's going to go, let it come down on me. That's fine. But you need to be not the person who's doing it. And it's kind of like, fine, okay, let's try and work this out. At least we can bloody communicate. It's not like he's kind of going, I want you to do this, do that, or, you know, he's trying to do it for me not to get stressed. And he's trying to do it so that the kid doesn't get so stressed that she doesn't think, and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, a lot of learning to do. A lot to get my head around, and yeah, step parenting is not easy. Any of you steps out there who can wave your hands and help me, that would be awesome. I'm a step kid. I was 16 when my dad remarried, and I know it wasn't fun for her, and it certainly wasn't fun for me. You know, I know she cried in the bedroom at night, probably thinking that I hated her. No, I just hated life, I think, at that stage. And I got pregnant at, you know, on the shoulder of their wedding. So yeah, 16, 17, whatever it was. Anyway, yeah, got pregnant. So I was dealing with emotions, pregnancy, and that was a mess. And grieving my mum, and grieving boarding school, and grieving my parents, and grieving my siblings bailing on me, and all of that kind of thing. It was, yeah, my teenage years were pretty horrific. Alright, I'm done. That's such a nice sound. Somebody asked a question, do you need to roller all your diamond paintings? Hell yeah, because you get that sound. No, you actually put the drills down much firmer than they might ordinarily have been. So yes, roller your diamond paintings when you can. But yeah, I'm done. I will take a picture of this. I will put it here to show you the end result of this week's diamond painting. I've got the top of the flowers, grass done. Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for... I'll do a tech video where I'm talking all kinds of things, sponsorship and giveaways. I will be doing giveaways for the hitting the 1K. I'll be doing a video on the different areas that that's going to be in too. So that's going to be in yarny things, in cross stitch things, and in diamond painting things. I have to work out what I'm doing and who I'm doing them with. I'll probably... Some of the stuff I've got here, some of the stuff I might, you know, talk with the maker who is going to do the pen over in the States or whatever it might be. Anyway, got to think about that. And I will do a video on that in its entirety in the next, you know, 2-3 weeks. Maybe kind of a Christmas party special, something. Anyway, there are going to be giveaways. Yeah, so... Thank you for joining me. Christmas premieres are coming up. We're ages away though. 5 weeks. Yeah, I know. It's so fast. Please stay safe. Please look after your loved ones. And yeah, I will see you around next week. Sophie, as I said, is much, much better. Say bye, Sophie. Bye. There you go. And we're going to go and eat pizza. And then I'm going to go and make pork dinner. And... yeah, I'll go and get those pictures of those funky flowery things and have that so that I can upload it into the video as well. Alright, bye for now. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you around on the tubes. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand.